Am I overreacting for not letting my mother speak at my dad's funeral after she cheated on him? She asked me quietly if she could say a few words at the service, and I told her no. I felt wrong allowing her to talk about a man she hurt deeply and disrespected. I couldn't let the person who caused him such heartache stand at the front of the room and act like she had always been by his side. I remember a person close to me once said, just because two people love each other doesn't mean they're supposed to be together.
I agree.
People be putting their business out on Reddit. This is the reason why I love it so much.
This is an Unsolicited Perspectives YouTube exclusive.
Jay, guess where I went?
To a bar of some kind?
No, I didn't go to a bar.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't a physical place
Oh,
that I went to, but just
you
a
went
place.
somewhere in your mind?
No, not somewhere in my mind. It's a place, but not a physical place. It's a place on my phone. It's
Oh,
an app
Reddit.
on my phone.
Reddit.
You damn right I went to Reddit.
Yeah,
And I found this. Am I overreacted? I haven't even read it.
Okay.
I'm going to live read it right now, and we're going to react to it first response. All I did was read the title, and I was like, this seems interesting.
You didn't peruse it for this. Okay, we're just gonna see what happens.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
just going to see what happens. So it is, am I overreacting for not letting my mother speak at my dad's funeral after she cheated on him? Now, do you realize why I was just like, oh, I got to find out what this is about?
Because you messy. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course I'm messy. I'm a 25-year-old female, recently lost my father, late 40s male, obviously, as a result of a heart attack. Growing up, I idolized him. He had a kind heart and always supported me. It happened all of a sudden, and it hit me really hard because we were close. He was a classical musician, not popular, but he loved what he did. My relationship with my mother is a totally different case. When I was a teenager, I caught her cheating on my dad, and for a while, I kept it to myself. But the secret got too heavy to keep, so I eventually told him. He didn't fall apart. He looked broken, though. Not long after they separated, she moved on, remarried the other man eventually, and I cut it off. And I cut her off for making me lie. Let me reread that again. Cut. Not long after they separated, she moved on, remarried the other man eventually, and I cut her off for making me lie. We didn't speak for a year, and I couldn't forgive her for what she did. Why betray someone who genuinely loved you? I couldn't stomach the idea of acting like nothing happened. My younger brother kept in touch with her over the years. Fast forward to my dad's funeral. I was unexpectedly saw her at the funeral. I guess I should have expected her. She looked contrite, but I didn't care. She asked me quietly if she could say a few words at the service, and I told her no. I felt wrong allowing her to talk about a man she hurt deeply and disrespected. I couldn't let the person who caused him such heartache stand at the front of the room and act like she had always been by his side. She looked hurt, but didn't push it. My brother later said I was too harsh, and grief changes people. Not certain, maybe she wanted to say goodbye. Maybe I am being harsh and holding on to anger too tightly. Notwithstanding, I couldn't allow it on that day. Am I overreacting for not letting my mom speak at my dad's funeral? Right.
Well, I can't say that this person's overreacting because how you feel is how you feel. What's done is done. I mean, the funeral's already over, and this person didn't allow their mother to speak. I don't
Not
know
her
that
mother, her mom.
Oh, her mom. Okay.
Yeah.
It just means they're from across the pond.
Yeah, that's what that means.
So, but I do think she was wrong.
Yeah.
I do think she was wrong.
I'm in agreement with you.
Because regardless of how it ended, you know, they did have a marriage. She did have 2 children with this person. She should be able to say nice things about him and, you know, say goodbye if that's maybe even apologize. I mean, you don't even know what she was going to say. and now she's not going to ever get that opportunity again. So
Yeah,
you feel how you feel. I get it, but I think it was wrong.
yeah, I agree with you. And I take it from an avenue of I was married once.
Yeah.
When you're married, you're connected to that person.
Yeah.
Maybe not forever in the sense of you think about them daily.
Yeah.
But there was a moment in time where you felt so committed to this person that you decided to marry them, which is a big deal. It shouldn't be taken haphazardly, right?
Right.
Not only that, but you had kids. You don't know as children of your parents what they're dealing with in their relationship, because an old school way of parenting is to not let the kids know what's going on in their relationship. Hell, that's not even the old school way of parenting. That's a today standard of everybody in relationships. People don't be telling people what they.
And honestly, you shouldn't be sharing the details of your relationship with your kids. That's too much.
Well, I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I think at a certain point you need to teach your kids what a real relationship is like and not give them smoke and mirrors, because if they think that their mom and dad's marriage is absolutely perfect, when we all know that no marriage is perfect, they're going to seek out something that replicates that and not work through the hard times of their own relationship. I think it's incumbent upon the parents to say, hey, look, me and your mom go through rough times, but that's what relationships are. We love each other and we work our way through the tough times.
Yeah, I think that's fine. But as far as like the details of,
well, no, it ain't got to know details. Not the details.
But we disagree sometimes, and we argue sometimes. That's normal. We're two very separate people trying to live together and raise children.
Right.
So you're not going to agree 100% of the time, and that is normal and okay.
Right. And I just feel like because she hadn't spoken to her mother and she was close with her dad, maybe her dad and mom had reconciled or had gained some type of understanding of the situation.
Some kind of closure. Some kind of closure. Yeah.
And he didn't bring it up around his daughter because of how his daughter felt about her mom, or her mom, as she says. You just, look, when it deals with other people, you want to pick sides, but you can't because it's their relationship. Yes, when they bring in other people, family, friends, kids, yes, they are all a part of this relationship, but ultimately it is their relationship. And if she felt a certain type of way, she may have had real grief and regret for what she did. Or maybe not. Maybe she loved that person. Sometimes I remember a person close to me once said, just because two people love each other doesn't mean they're supposed to be together.
Right.
Maybe she loved her father, but realized this ain't it. Went about it the wrong way, not condoning what she did. But that doesn't mean that she didn't love the father. She popped up at the funeral.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I do think it's the mother's fault for not trying to talk to the daughter. And maybe she did, and the daughter just wasn't having it. But trying to absolve her of that guilt of holding on to that lie to her father. She should have tried to reconcile that, or at least done something. They maybe the mother and the father could have got together and sat the daughter down.
Right.
And done something. But she wanted to pay her respects. And I understand the daughter was grieving. That is, first of all, her father is my age. He was 40-something.
Yeah.
And they had a heart attack or a heart situation unexpectedly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's painful, especially when she said she idolized him.
Yeah. And she's young. The dad
she's only
was
25.
Young, so she was young as well. So, I mean,
everybody is young.
Everybody's young.
Everybody is young.
Which means mom ain't that old either.
If by chance this random person on Reddit comes across this podcast, actually this is YouTube exclusive, and sees this, reach out to your mom. Try to reconcile with that, because it sounds like from reading your words, you don't feel good in your spirit about how you handled the funeral.
Right.
And you will never feel good in your spirit unless you have that tough conversation.
Yeah.
People don't want to have tough conversations, but they're needed.
Yeah.
They're needed to heal. So that's my little 2 cents. But woo,
I agree.
People be putting their business out on Reddit. This is the reason why I love it so much.
Yeah. Yes. We all love Reddit. You love Reddit.
I love Reddit. I just be on Reddit. Matter of fact, the reason why I decided to choose this is because literally I've been on my phone for 3 hours just going through Reddit, reading people's stories. Yeah, people have to have those tough conversations in order to heal, and it seems like she needs to have that conversation. But what I would say, in the words of Avon Barksdale, don't let it lay on you like that. Had a conversation with your mom, but you felt the way you felt, and can't nobody take away how you felt. Your actions may not have been right.
Right.
But you felt the way you felt.
Yeah. I don't think you should have let your emotions inform your actions in that instance, but I don't think you were overreacting.
Not overreacting.
No. You reacted. But I don't know if it was an overreaction.
And that is a YouTube exclusive.
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.